All right, good morning, YouTube. Figured I'd come back on for an hour or so today. Just wrapping up, getting some fuel here. Gonna run through a cat scale, see how much I weigh. A little heavy today, got 44,000 pounds on. I weighed it at the shipper. The weights weren't making a lot of sense to me, so just put about 1,000 pounds of fuel on. So I'm going to get an official weight, make sure I'm legal. Mount Eagle, Tennessee right now. Going to be heading up, going through Nashville. Going to cut west on the way to St. Louis this morning. So semi-trucks are allowed to weigh 80,000 pounds gross. I can have 12,000 pounds on my steer tires, 34,000 pounds on my drive tires, and 34,000 pounds on my tandems/trailer axles. So I can slide my back wheels to shift that weight to an extent. And see where I'm at. I should be legal. I weighed at the shipper. There seemed to be a little bit of a discrepancy though. So I either don't have 44,000 pounds on, and it's only like 42 or 45, or their scale is off. So I'm gonna get to the bottom of that right now. So these cat scales have a cool app that they use. So I don't even have to get out of the truck. You used to have to push the button on this thing, tell them my truck number, pull off, go inside, pay. I can do all that right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Change my logs to on duty here. Find my other phone. So I'm using the cat scale app right now. I'm at location 326. I'll confirm that. Put my trailer number in. Hit next. Accept $15.25 now to get the first weigh. Weighmaster is verifying information. Please wait. So I am 33,420 on my drives, 32,320 on my trailer, 11,620 on my steers, for a total of 77,360. So I am way good. I'm with the done button here. Clear that out.
Lee Grace says, do you like King of the Hill?
Yeah, I like King of the Hill. I haven't really watched very much of it. I don't get to watch hardly any TV. I like Family Guy better than King of the Hill. But I think they're doing a live action version of King of the Hill, right? With real actors and real people. That should be pretty sweet. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here and get back on the highway. Currently in Mount Eagle, Tennessee, at the top of a big mountain here. So we get on the highway, we're gonna go down the mountain. Gonna head up on through Nashville.
AJ Leaf Freight says I wonder what the age rating on that's gonna be. Raul Juarez 7545 says what do truckers do if you turn your e-brakes on while you at a truck stop?
Turn my what on? E-brakes? Oh, Jake brakes. Yeah, probably not a whole lot. What's going on with that car?
Raul Juarez 7545 says yes sir.
Yeah, and welcome back, Raul. I think you were on here yesterday. Glad to have you back on here.
Now turn right to join the Interstate 20.
Yeah, so the Jake brakes on my truck, I have a 2023 Freightliner Cascadia. My Jake brakes aren't loud, so if I put them on in a truck stop, I probably nobody would even look at me, even notice me or anything. But if you have like a big long nose Peterbilt or Kenworth or something, those are the ones that are super, super loud Jake brakes. And, believe it or not, guys do put that on there.
The third.
Yeah, it's probably not a whole lot. You'll see, like all those trucks you just saw on the shoulder there. A lot of times when those loud Jake brakes are getting off the highway, they'll put their Jake brakes on just to piss those guys off or whatever. But nothing ends up happening. Very, very few fights and all that stuff out here.
Follow the highway.
Boy, I just jumped into the middle of a shit ton of traffic here. Gonna be going down Mount Eagle in a few seconds here.
AJ Leaf Freight says I am random sometimes I just don't think I just do.
Yes, back to the King of the Hill. There's a little baby deer off the side of the highway there. Yeah, they're probably going to try to make it PG-13, but that'd be great if they made it rated R, though, on that King of the Hill live-action movie. All right, it's going to be a 45-mile-an-hour truck speed limit going down this whole mountain here. Pain in the butt. It's not that ridiculous of a downgrade here. So probably going to hang with you guys until I get past Nashville today. I'm fairly certain my signal's going to go bad shortly after that. But we'll see what happens here. All right. I'm going too fast. Yeah, of course. So my overspeed's like 5 miles an hour. Don't know why that guy's gonna. Oh, that rest there is closed. I would not want to merge back in from that position.
Donald Herring 1310 says always like the Simpsons lol.
Yeah, Simpsons
AJ
are
Leaf
cool.
Freight says I like the Simpsons.
Overspeed limit.
Mile an hour overspeed's crock of shit. So I've got a few miles of this descent here. Gonna be in a nice 70-mile-an-hour speed zone.
AJ Leaf Freight says sometimes I make little parts of songs in my head.
Using my engine brakes going down the mountain here.
AJ Leaf Freight says I've always had this weird obsession with semi-trucks.
Cool. Yeah, big trucks are pretty cool, especially some of the long nose Peterbilts, and those are really cool.
AJ Leaf Freight says I've always had this weird obsession with semi-trucks.
Lots of truck traffic out here this morning. I'm on Central Time right now, and it's 3:20 a.m. We're all trying to get through Nashville before rush hour for sure. Came down through this area yesterday on the way to Atlanta. Did put a little video up so far from Atlanta.
Donald
Got a couple
Terry
more.
1310 says they're always pulling trailers long.
Yeah, that's what they do. But yeah, I lost a lot of time in Atlanta yesterday. Probably about an hour altogether. Just crashes everywhere. People, there's
AJ
horrible
Leaf
drivers
Freight
around
says
there.
everyone talks about Peterbilt. I talk about Mac.
Yeah, Mac is actually owned by Volvo now. Well, I think everyone's passed me now. Yeah, I would normally run 50 to 55 miles an hour down here, but company I drive for doesn't like when you go more than 5 miles over the limit. And all of that stuff is tied into the camera on my tractor, tied into the computer in my tractor, and if I go over speed, I'll send a video to my safety department, and then I gotta deal with them later. And
Lone 740 says, what's your 20? Good buddy.
I'm going down Mount Eagle, Tennessee right now, heading on Interstate 24 west. There's my 70 mile an hour speed limit. You've been all night.
Donald Harry 1310 says their badass look like diesel fuel going down a bit.
Yeah, it's come down quite a bit since the peak, which was probably 5 to 6 weeks ago. It was I think the highest I paid was $6.64 for a gallon, and you know, when you're buying 150 gallons at a time, that adds up pretty quick. Another thing about diesel is in these semi trucks, you only get about 7 to 8 miles a gallon depending on how much weight you got on. That was, $6.94 a gallon. That's almost $1 a mile just for fuel.
740 says safe travels. Good buddy.
Thanks, bro.
We're out here fueling tugboats this morning.
Oh, nice. Where are you at? Fueling those
AJ
tugboats.
says something weird is when I became an uncle, I randomly started working really hard.
Cool. I was up in picking up from somewhere in Leetsdale, Pennsylvania. Well, I think it was last week. And they had a big tugboat going down along the river there pulling something. So I put a nice little video of that up. Thought that was pretty cool. All right. This guy in front of me is going 64 miles an hour. As soon as these couple cars go past me, finally get up to 70 miles an hour and start passing these guys. I can't believe how busy it is out here right now.
Sloan 740 says good old Ohio River.
Oh, okay, cool. Where at on the Ohio River? What state are you in? Down by Cincinnati, Kentucky, or up in West Virginia?
Sloan 740 says we're here in the Cincy.
Oh, cool. Alright, get this slowpoke out of the way here. Who's dropped 2 miles an hour. There you go. Hit your gas, buddy. Now I get to go repass all the trucks that passed me going down that mountain. Fun times, fun times. Hey, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do post a lot of other videos on throughout the week, short videos, long videos.
AJ Leaf Freight says I've always had this obsession with semi-trucks and old cars and old country music.
Cool.
Queensgate 1171 says in Bowling Green, Kentucky, work overnight at a supply chain.
Oh, nice.
Animal Stack 123 says good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. I just went through Bowling Green yesterday. So. Well, that car in front of me dropped down to 68 miles an hour again. Ugh. So currently heading Interstate 24
Donald
westbound.
Herring 1310 says 4:25 a.m. in Daytona Beach.
Oh, nice.
Animal Stack 123 says cheers to all.
Cheers back at you. All right, I'm just gonna get over for now. Looks like I'm gonna have a lot more passing to do here.
Queensgate 1171 says live right on I-65. See it out the front window of my house.
Oh, cool. Well, if it's this busy traffic-wise out at this hour, which is about 3:30 in the morning Central Time here.
Sloan 740 says what's the most unique place you've hauled to?
That's a good question. I've been to a lot of unique places. I would probably say the Grand Ole Opry down in Nashville. Unique and cool. So they have big truck loading docks out back for that. Only been there one time making a delivery, but it was like I didn't know where to go. They didn't have good directions to get me to the dock area or whatever. So when I pulled up, I didn't know where to go. So I got out, tried to find someone, and I came up to a set of doors and I just pulled on them and they opened. And I literally walked through the whole Ryman Theater, I think it's called. Like no one around, nobody there. I'm not sure that door was supposed to be open. Not sure I was supposed to go through it, but it was pretty cool walking through there, just imagining all the history and all the people that have been through that place between like Johnny Cash, Elvis. Yeah, it gave me the goosebumps going through there. So. But if it's this busy traffic-wise right now, I'd sure hate to see what it's going to be like later on today. This route I'm on right now is just an absolute madhouse, jam-packed almost the whole way from Mount Eagle all the way to Nashville. It's only 3:30 in the morning here right now, so...
Sloan 740 says, what the most sketchy place you hauled to? Also, are you hauling chemicals or what kind of load you carrying?
Not hauling chemicals right now. I drive a dry van, so non-perishable goods. It could be anything from like macaroni and cheese to big rolls of paper to non-hazmat chemicals. Anything that doesn't need refrigerated that can fit in here, I'll end up hauling at one point or another. Right now I got big rolls of paper on. So 44,000
Raylan
pounds.
Carson N50 says, yo WSP, I am back.
Just couldn't get over for that truck on the shoulder. Now that guy's just taking his break there. Got a jam-packed rest area. Not really a safe place to be there.
AJ Leafrate says Hank Williams before he was fired.
Yeah. Hank Williams too. Rally, what's up, buddy? Where are you at? What part of the world you in, Rally? Back in Virginia?
Raylan Carson N50 says, I was playing Call of Duty.
Oh, cool. Why is my that's my distance warning. I don't know why my cruise control keeps cutting out. Way station coming up here in 2 miles. That's what that sound is you just heard. I've not gotten a bypass around these scales in a very long time now. Got to be careful just in case it's open. I don't think it is. But I may need to get over it.
740 says, what's your favorite stuff? UATA fan. Haha.
No, not a fan of TAs at all. They're probably my least favorites. Mainly because of all their parking, charging for parking. Yeah, I ain't trying even pilots now.
Donald
Oh my God, the
Herring
bypass.
1310 says, too much technology, lol.
Yeah, the technology's a little overwhelming. So I just got bypass around the scale. That's the first bypass. Probably not even open, but it's the first bypass I've gotten in almost 2 months. So maybe my company finally paid the bill or something. I don't know. But I am shocked. It has been so long since I've done a bypass scale here.
Raylan
See if it's
Carson
open.
N50 says, I also adopted a dog.
Oh, cool. What kind of dog? Open when flashing. Nothing's flashing, so they're closed. Yeah, TAs and Petros used to be like king of the road as far as truck stops go. They would be the first place to fill up every night.
Raylan
best
Parson
showers.
N50 says American Pit Bull female.
Oh, nice. Is it a pup or is she older? But yeah, so the TAs and Petros did not keep up with remodeling, fixing stuff. They've just been crumbling. And BP bought them, so they're not even.
Raylan Parson N50 says 4. Donald Herring
Cool.
1310 says dogs are the best buddies.
Yep, for sure.
SFR.
Yeah, sometimes I think about
Sloan
getting a dog.
740 says Loves has came a long way. Playing Jay is too liberal.
Yeah, yeah. Pilots and Flying J's are, they used to be number 2, right behind TAs and Petros. But everything is flipped now because pilots charge for parking as well.
Raylan
In a lot of their spots.
N50 says very protective.
Yeah, those dogs are definitely protective. I always thought about bringing the dog with me in the truck, but and then I like come back to reality, and it's like I don't really need anything else in the truck that's going to need to take a shit. It's hard enough for me to run to the bathroom when I need to go, especially
David
in the
Knowles
wintertime.
39 said hi.
Oh, welcome to the live stream. Hi, David. Yeah, Loves are pretty much the new kings of the road as far as truck stops. Big truck stops go out here. They don't charge. They have no paid parking. All their parking spots are free. The problem I have with the places that charge for their parking are most companies don't reimburse for that. If it was like $5 to park, that'd be one thing. But when you're charging $20 to $30 to park for a 10-hour break, I mean, that's after-tax money. So I got to make $45 or $50 gross to pay that $30 that comes out of my pocket just for one day. Are you fucking kidding me? Not going to happen. It's ignorant. So I have a video. I got to get it cleaned up, but I was at a Pilot in Fort Worth, Texas, and literally 90% of their parking spots were all paid.
1310 says, yep, got German Shepherd, very protective.
I love German Shepherds.
740 says, I didn't even know that. My old man retired the highway about 15 years ago.
Yeah, that was probably a good time to get out, too. That's about the time everything started going downhill big time out here. But one of my favorite truck stops, at least recently, is the Tennessean, which is on Interstate 65, mile marker 22, I believe. I can't think of the name of the town. I-65, exit 22 in Tennessee, the Tennessean. I think Dolly Parton bought it or invested in it, and they're in the middle of a remodel. They got like a big
Raylan
bar
Parson
and grill
N50
upstairs.
says almost all dogs are protective.
I'm not sure why this guy's got his 4-ways on here. But we're gonna go around them. Hey, if you're just joining in, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do try to come on here. Been a lot this week. I think this is the 4th day in a row. The live I did yesterday, like disappeared from my content process, so it's gone forever. Not sure why the hell that's happened. I had one from the previous day do that as well. So I must be in a bad area when I end these or something. Well, that guy's towing that truck. That's why the 4-ways were on. So.
Two Awesome Dogs says, good morning, driver.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the live stream.
Raylan Parson N50 says, my dog has probably been left in lighting or storms. 740 says, you gonna be live tomorrow night. On my free time, I'll have to join in if so.
Yeah, probably not tomorrow night. I usually run, it's possible 4 in the morning or so, maybe. I'm not sure where I'm going to be yet. I usually don't know more than a couple hours in advance where I'm going to next.
Alchemy says, hi, do you remember me?
Hi, Jana. Welcome to the live stream. Not off the top of my head. Are you in Australia by chance?
Jana Alchemy says no.
Okay. Yeah, so the bad part about this text-to-speech program that I'm using is like one day it'll pronounce
Two
your
Awesome
username
Dogs
different.
says we had some thunderstorms last night. It just poured. I'm retired OTR from Michigan.
Oh, what's up, Michigan?
740 says my internet lag. Didn't hear you. But in between 2 to 5 a.m.
Yeah, there's a possibility I could be on. I do like to come on Saturdays and Sundays. It's a little more easygoing, a little less busy. But I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm going to St. Louis right now, and not sure what's going to happen after that, what times I'll be running. But if I can, I do like to come on Saturdays and Sundays. I tend to come on a little bit later if I can.
The V7L said hi.
Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, so I was saying with the text-to-speech program I use, like one night it'll pronounce your username one way, the next night it'll pronounce it another way. So I can't really read any of the to see, so I try to remember who's communicating on here, commenting and everything, but sometimes it's difficult. I do remember a lot of people I talk to.
1310 says, you're right, lots of traffic, truck after truck.
Yeah, and it's not even 4 in the morning here yet, so I was expecting it to be a lot quieter out, but it is what it is. Once I get through Nashville and start heading towards Paducah,
Raylan Parson and
should be pretty
50
quiet.
says it's 5 here.
Yeah, I was just I started my shift on Eastern time. I was on Interstate 59 in Georgia. Did not make good time going to Atlanta yesterday. I lost a lot of time making it to my delivery. Spent 3 hours at the receiver. A slow route up to my next pickup and slow route out of my next pickup. Seems to be
Raylan Parson N50 says, who do you remember?
well, I mean, just some of the people that are on here commenting. So there was a guy, I did a bunch of these live streams back in October of last year, and he came back on a couple weeks ago, and like I remembered not just him, but like where he was from and all kinds of stuff about him. It's just weird. Some things click and other things don't. But with this text-to-speech program, makes it difficult because your username is like Rally, whatever. It's saying Rail, and it might say Rally.
Parson N50
Raylan
says, what app me?
Yeah, I remember you, Elko. You're the only one. You're the only person I've actually met in real life off my social media, really. So that's pretty cool.
Chris Braun 8800 says, what is your favorite Kanye West song? Raylan
I
Carson
liked,
N50 says yay.
I like Gold Digger. I think that's the name of the song. It's got that Jamie Foxx on there doing some of the chorus.
Pancho Loco P8R says it's okay to admit you aren't into that crappy so-called music.
Well, I would admit that if it were true. I used to DJ
Raylan Carson
way back in the
N50
day.
says my favorite song is Moonlight by XXX Tentacion Rip.
Holy shit, Alco, you're into some cool stuff there. Yeah, so I used to DJ back, I used to be into filmmaking, doing stand-up comedy.
803 says Kanye knew what he was talking about when he called out the Jews. Raylan Carson N50 says yay. Donald Herring 1310 says good old 70s music to rock out to.
Yeah, so I used to DJ back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was into filmmaking, stand-up comedy, learned how to beat mix, engineer and produce music, and love learning all the technical stuff as far as that stuff goes. Was definitely, into EDM, techno, and house music. Top 40 stuff. I used to remix a lot of radio songs.
Says I try to come on her live stream here and there.
Yeah, appreciate that. It's awesome. I'll chat with you.
Raylan Carson N50 says I know recorder. 771 says I'm the 80s and 90s wife.
Nice.
Donald Herring 1310 says yep, Casey Kasem.
I remember Casey Kasem. He also did some voice work on Scooby-Doo, I believe, too. Was he Shaggy? I think he was Shaggy. Yes, I used to DJ, so I was definitely into music, remixing a lot of radio songs. Used to love to play around with that stuff. Pretty much into every type of music except for like newer country music.
71 says yeah, that's right.
All right, man.
Two Awesome Dogs says where was Casey Kasem from? Donald Herring 1310 says love the 80s too.
Yeah, the 80s is probably my least favorite, but as time goes on, it's grown on me a lot. I used to DJ back in the late 90s, early 2000s, so. But I used to play at this retro club, so they did a lot of disco, a lot of 70s music, and yeah, it was super cool, so. Well, climbing a hill here, losing some
Raylan
speed.
Carson N50 says love the 90s.
Oh, 90s is where it's at for me. That was my
Two Awesome
coming of
Dogs
age
says
time.
Casey Kasem was born in Detroit.
Oh, wow, I never knew that.
Aaron Shackelford 6106 says I'm back for a second night to ride with you again, John.
What's up, Aaron? Welcome back, man. Yep, gonna try to ride with you guys through Nashville this morning, coming back up and west on my way to St. Louis. He's high back for, not even 4 in the morning yet, so I don't know where the hell everybody's going to, but they should just go back to bed. Get out of my way. This car is moving right now. Yeah, so the live stream I did yesterday, usually it takes several hours for these things to process.
6106 says used to watch American Bandstand when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s.
Ah, Dick Clark.
Donald Herring 1310 says I call them extras lol.
All right, pass a couple more people here. We're only about 46 miles or so from downtown Nashville right now. Probably going to be running into some bad weather today. Looks like some big stuff moving across Missouri. Heading my direction or the direction I'm heading. I'll be kind of running into it head on at some point today. But yeah, so the live stream I did yesterday is like gone forever, never showed up. It takes hours to process and upload.
50 says Ema go to bed at 5. Two Awesome Dogs says I started working when I was 14. I bought my favorite car when paid cash $6,575.00. 1984 IROC C28.
Oh, nice. You're a Chevy guy. Cool, cool. Man, I wish we could still buy cars for that kind of money.
Shackelford 6106 says how is traffic out there, John?
Oh, it's like super busy this morning, Aaron. It's frustrating, really. I like coming on super early in the morning like I do so I can chill and relax for a while before it gets crazy and daylight out.
1310 says Chevy number 1. Raylan Parson N50 says my dream car is Kawasaki Ninja H2R 400.
That's a car? A Kawasaki? That's a motorcycle. Pretty sweet bike. Hi, Tesh, welcome. Thanks for joining in.
Burrito Bandito 254 says said hi.
What's up, Burrito?
Two Awesome Dogs says that's a death trap.
Yeah, I have a motorcycle license, but I've never really
Queensgate
driven a bike on the
1171
streets.
says I bought a Chevy Camaro new 1984 and it was $9,900.
Yeah, I bought a Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat back in 2016. Had it custom built, had my name, this car built, especially for my name on the window sticker and everything. And yeah, and it still for 707 horsepower and 200 mile an hour car, it would only come out to about $68,000. So it's pretty sweet. But man, I wish cars were that cheap nowadays.
Raylan Parson N50 says that was when I was born.
What? 1984? Since that makes you 42 years old?
Burrito Bandito 254 says I bought a 202 Toyota Camry 5 years ago. Raylan Parson N50 says yay.
Oh, cool.
Donald Herring 1310 says technology again lol. Queensgate 1171 says I was born in 1964.
Yeah, technology. Street racing technology.
Two Awesome Dogs says 1984. Fur still wet behind the ears. Lol.
Huh. I'm 1978, so.
Two Awesome Dogs says same here 1964. Raylan Carson N50 says lol.
Well, got some open road in front of me now with not a lot of traffic. Enjoy this little gap before it gets busy again. Yeah, I like coming on early in the morning, 3, 4 a.m. It's usually a lot more.
Aaron Shackelford 6106
Not as busy.
says Chevy Impalas are the best cars for racing.
Chevy Impala for racing? I don't know about that.
Queensgate 1171 says faintly remember Vietnam War. Donald Herring 1310 says 1963 and I am 63 lol. Raylan Parson N50 says nah moto GPS. Two Awesome Dogs says you do anything for the 250th.
No, not really. I'll probably just be working. Probably won't even take the holiday off, so I don't take very many holidays off. I got to take a week off towards the end of July, so hopefully be able to catch a fireworks show somewhere. That'd be kind of cool. It'll probably be while I'm driving down the highway and watching them on the horizon from wherever that is. Usually what I get to do on the 4th, but yeah, like I was saying, I like to come on early in the morning and start driving when it's usually not as busy out. I can just kick back, relax for a couple hours before the madness of the day.
How many hours or miles do you drive a day? Two Awesome Dogs says I remember the 200th president was in NYC. Aaron Shackelford 6106 says I won 3 points championships in a Chevy Impala back to back to back.
Oh, nice. So are you circle track racing or drag strip quarter mile? So I usually do as many miles as I can in a day. I'm allowed to drive 11 hours in a 14-hour period. I have a 70-mile-an-hour truck. So if I had a big trip that was going from like East Coast to West Coast, I could do, let's say I can work 11 hours, drive 11 hours in 14-hour period. But if I stop and get
Two
fuel and all
Awesome
my
Dogs
inspections.
says dirt track.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So if I do 11 hours of driving, spend an hour on that shift pumping fuel, doing my inspections, I could go back on break for 10 hours and drive 2 more hours. So, I can literally do 850 miles in a 24-hour period. I can only work 70 hours in 8 days. So and the trips I do are a lot shorter than that.
Bandito 254 says, ask me to ask you when was the last time you checked your blinker fluid?
Oh, yeah, I ran out of blinker fluid a long time ago. So, because I can only work 70 hours in an 8-day period.
And says 350 Chevy won more races than any other engine in history.
I love the 350.
6106 says drag racing.
Yeah, whenever somebody talks about racing, that's immediately what I jump to, is drag racing. So a lot of times I forget about all the other types of racing and everything, but we had a 350 Chevy small block, man. Great piece of machinery there. Before computers and all that stuff made these things so difficult to work on. 350 is just so simple, so good, and cheap to rebuild, tear down. But I had a 350. I had a 1980 Chevy El Camino when I was in high school. Had a 350 small block in it. Had it built up, 393 gears in the rear end. I took it to the drag track, drag strip. We only ran mid 14s.
Two Awesome Dogs says I drove back when we had coloring book. Drove from Orange, Texas to Heffingham, Illinois nonstop.
Oh, wow.
Donald Herring 1310 says you're so right.
But yeah, I miss them days when you could just literally pull into a garage and just rebuild your engine by yourself. Pretty much all one night if you wanted. I mean, drink some beer, a bunch of buddies. So usually, because I can only work 70 hours in 8 days, I try to not burn more than 8 or 9 hours off my logbook every day. But I'm still putting 12 to 14 hours in it. It's just I'm usually in the dock getting loaded, unloaded when I switch my logs off.
Donald Herring 1310 says at a cam law.
Yeah, for sure. Got to have a good cam in there. Then, so nowadays I do 500 miles a day. I'm usually pretty happy. I mean, if I can get it up a little higher than that, that's good. I try to avoid doing restarts. I'd rather work and move. There's usually a day in the week where I might only work 4 or 5 hours or whatever, and I'll use that to rest and recover. Went home last weekend, and when I got home last Friday, I was on day 35 in a row on my logbook. But now there's a couple days in there where I'm only working a couple hours, 2-3 hours a day, 4 or 5 hour day in there. So that's really all I need to keep up the energy and keep driving every day. So, and then it's those days I'll go and try to find something to do, go eat a nice meal somewhere. Went to the Fort Worth Stockyards a couple weekends ago. I've been there, super cool. Got a nice video I put up shortly after I was there as well. I like to play poker, so usually once every couple weeks I get out and about. During the week I usually eat in the truck. I don't eat fast food. I don't go and have any sit-down meals. I go to Walmart once a week or so. I got 2 refrigerators in my truck. Trying to eat healthier, lose a little bit of weight, so it's not easy to do out here.
Two Awesome Dogs says my cousin was a 911 dispatcher. He built so many racing engines for race cars around Michigan.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, back when I was, I had a regional gig, end of 2016 until 2021, so I'd have 1 to 2 days a week off. And at home, I would watch Street Outlaws a lot, so. But now that I'm back over the road, I don't get to watch. I might watch 15 to 20 minutes of TV a week, so. Got a sheriff in the middle there. I'm gonna double check the speed limit. It's funny how the speed limit's 70 and everybody's driving under that, and they slow down even more when I cop.
If I was a driver, it worked 34 hours a week.
Yeah, it might be tough. Finding a gig to work 34 hours a week. I'm sure they're out there. It's just weird how they do the hours of service. They should have, like, if you're a younger guy, you should be able to do some type of like psychological exam.
Play poker. What game and limit? Two Awesome Dogs says, what was your favorite big truck you've ever drove?
I don't have a favorite big one. I've never gotten to drive any cool trucks. It's always like Freightliner Columbias, Cascadias. I've never gotten to drive an 18-speed long-nosed Peterbilt or Kenworth. Nothing cool. Poker, I usually play No Limit Hold'em. I played a little bit of PLO, but I just, I don't know that I have the stomach for that. I've played 2-5 PLO and literally you lose $4,000 in an hour. It's just more gambly. I like No Limit. A little more control in that. Usually just a 1-3 No Limit. Biggest limit I ever played was 5-10.
10 says, does the dot mess with you?
Yeah, I mean the DOT messes with everyone. I mean, but you got to figure they're just doing their job. You know, their job is to inspect trucks and make sure everything's in good working order.
Dog says my favorite was KWK 2000, 18 speed.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. But back to the hours of service,
Aaron Shackelford 6106 says my brother had a 79 Monte Carlo with a 354 barrel. We smoked every 5.0 Mustang that we raced on the road.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet ride right there. Don't see many of those around anymore either. But yeah, so with the hours of service, you can work 70 hours in 8 days. Now that's if you're 23 years old, or if I've known guys that are 80, 85 years old.
Jesse James
and those guys are still expected to work 70 hours.
Play poker.
I play poker. I've played poker almost everywhere. Back in Columbus, Ohio, my regular spot there was the Shark Tank Poker Club. Awesome place. If you're into poker, if you're ever in those parts, I would definitely check that out. Big tournaments. They do $1 million guarantee tournaments sometimes, and I've been playing there since 2009, I think. And they don't take a rake or anything. You just pay like a day fee and maybe by the hour or something now. They're getting a little crazy with the fees on these. But back when I started playing, it was $20. You paid $20 a day to play cash there.
Too Awesome
No
Doc
rake.
says my second oldest brother had a 1974 Ford Mustang convertible.
Cool. Yeah, Mustangs are my least favorite muscle car. But I like any older relic like that. It's super sweet. Definitely like looking at them, seeing them, driving them if I can. But so the hours of service, yeah, if you're like 23 years old, you're out on the road, you got a lot of energy. I mean, you should be able to work 100 hours a week. You know, you should be able to take some kind of test, psychological exam to make sure you're capable, and that's fine. And then if you're like the guy that's 80 or 85 is still driving, which there was a guy that old. I used to work for Walmart. I think he started there when he was 79 years old. I think they finally retired him. But, I mean, and that guy was like, I mean, he could run circles around me, and I was
Too Awesome Dogs says strike one
38
from
years
the
old.
Buckeye.
But everybody expects, even if you're 80-some years old, to work 70 hours a week. You know, they're planning, you know, these trucks are expensive. They need to get a certain amount of production out of every truck. But, you know, so hire 2 80-year-olds to work that 70 hours in a week or whatever. Well, strike one to you from being from Michigan as well, so. But yeah, you should be able to get certified. Yeah, you should be able to get certified for a lower amount of hours to work in a week. That way a company can't force you to do something or lie to you and be like, yeah, you can come in and work 30 hours a week and then start making you work 60 and 70 or something like that. But, you know, you can't ever expect rules, laws, and regulations ever make sense or be any good.
Jesse James up 40 says, hey, I'm looking to move, get out of California, any place you've seen that you like.
Man, I've seen a lot of places I like. There's so many cool spots in the United States. And that's the thing.
Rangeley says hello from Maine.
Hello, Maine. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, it's probably the thing I've realized the most about our country is that while you got your Walmarts and McDonald's and all your chain stores everywhere I go, it's just a little bit different than the last place I've been. People are a little bit different. Every place I go to has its own identity. Sometimes those identities are good, and sometimes they're not, but just depends on what you're looking for. I don't think I could ever live in. I love California.
Dog says, hey, where I live have 20 lakes within 20 miles. Perfect cabins is cheap, $34K.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's good stuff. Like Montana, for outdoors and just beautiful, serene landscapes and whatever. Montana is the best I've ever seen. But I mean, there's a lot of other places that are similar and totally cool. Love California. I've driven in California a lot over the years. Haven't been there in a long time, but there's no way I could ever live there. I mean, just ridiculous taxes. It's just, yeah, F that. I mean, I think the state income tax is like almost 10% or something. I mean, that's insane. I'm in Ohio, and my state income tax is lower than my city income taxes.
Rangeley Lakes region in Maine.
Yeah, spent some time in Maine. Love Maine. Maine is great. Spent a week up in Portland, just visiting some friends and stuff, and I love Portland. But you could be in the downtown area with all the amenities and whatever, and then 10 minutes later you could be out in the middle of the woods or on the water somewhere.
Have the deal with California sucks. Donald Herring 1310 says, watch out Daytona Beach 100 degrees lol.
Yeah, Chicago next week.
He says Portland is the city. I'm in the mountains.
There's a big engine brake. Yeah, I was just up in Maine.
Come on, big Jack. That's up there at the pet hole tonight. Come on, get on this front right here. You gotta lose that lane.
Well, not sure who's. I think the guy behind me let me over. Yeah, I think we're going down a one lane here.
Truck drive is something else nowadays, man. You can't go nowhere.
Thank you, driver.
Not a problem, man.
Yes, just coming into Nashville right now. Doing a lot of construction overnight here.
254 says, I can never understand what people say on any kind of radio. Rangeley says only logging trucks in my area. Moose country in my location. Only 1,000 residents in town.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was up in Bangor. I forget when it was in March. I remember. I hurt my back.
1310 says construction never ends.
It never does, that's for sure.
Jesse James of 40 says need a place to go trout fishing and play poker.
Yeah, the good news is they pretty much got casinos just about everywhere nowadays. And I'm not sure about trout specifically, but I imagine you can find. Wouldn't be too hard to find trout fishing and poker somewhere. It makes me think like Wisconsin, Minnesota area for that, but.
Donald Herring 1310 says good mindset lol. Rangeley says be safe my friend. Gotta run.
See you, buddy. Thanks for joining in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Chat with you again some other time. Rally, you probably already jumped off, but thanks for your comments and joining in. So that Rally guy, I met this guy down in Fort Worth Stockyards a few weeks ago. I was rehydrating at a little watering hole there. cool dude. So I think he's the only person off my YouTube that I actually met in real life before. So yeah, I like it up in Maine. There was a big snowstorm when I was leaving Bangor, and it wasn't like horrible, but yeah, it was just a long winter this winter. Got hammered everywhere I went. Ice and snow and sub-zero temperatures, you know. I don't even know that it was that much. It was probably just an average winter.
Dog says if you've never seen Sleeping Bear, Sand Dunes has 450 feet drop to Lake Michigan. Come to Michigan, a lot of trout, fishing, and several casinos to go play poker.
Oh yeah, tons of casinos in Michigan. I've been to Money Keepers over there in Battle Creek. Fire Keepers. I'm pretty sure it's called Money Keepers. But yeah, I got a buddy in Kazoo, and I forget where. There's one area up there that's got like crystal clear water. Like you could be standing. It's like being down at Miami Beach, where you can stand neck deep in water, look down, and still see your feet. The water's so clear. I think it was in a Kid Rock music video. Can't remember the name of that beach, but I've always wanted to check it out. It might be the one you're talking about. Yeah, Michigan's got some beautiful places. So been up to the UP a number of times too. Man, it's like a whole different world up there. It's not even like being in the United States. It's just pretty awesome up there. All right, getting close to Nashville now. About 16 miles from downtown. We got 4 lanes here, but it's only showing the 2 left lanes with the green arrow here. That's why I'm hanging over here.
I live 10 miles from Soaring Eagle.
Oh, cool. I've never been to Soaring Eagle before, so they do a lot of big poker tournaments there, I think. I used to do. I don't think it's called it anymore, but it used to be the Mid-States MSPT, Mid-States Poker Tour. So I've been down in Durant, Oklahoma. I've done some WSOP circuit events down there.
2 Awesome Dogs says that's Trout Lake, Michigan.
Cool. Yeah, there was something white something, or I can't remember. But yeah, Michigan's cool as hell for outdoor stuff. So, all right, got the green lights back on all 4 lanes now. Go ahead and get over one.
2 Awesome Dogs says the UP is God's country.
Yeah, it sure is. Pretty awesome up there. You got a casino up there too. I've been there. I don't think I played poker there though. It's not that busy of a poker room. Open weird hours or something, but that was more than 10 years ago now. That was one of my longest days of truck driving ever. Is the next morning I woke up and it got 6 inches of snow overnight. Come across the bridge and literally had not been touched, not plowed.
A9 Graham says, where are you?
Hi, Bob. I'm in Tennessee right now, coming into Nashville. On my way to St. Louis this morning.
Jesse James of 40 says, what is UP?
Upper Peninsula. So that's way up at the top of Michigan, right along the Canadian border there.
2 Awesome Dogs says the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
All right, 70 mile an hour speed limit. I think it's already 70, so. No, my tractor is not saying that.
Jesse James of 40 says tie. Aaron Shackelford 6106 says, what are you hauling tonight, John, and were you hauling it to?
Going to St. Louis. I have a drop yard there. I'm going to drop this for a relay. They call it a T-call, terminate call. It doesn't deliver until, I think July the 1st is the delivery date on this, so definitely not going to sit and do nothing for a week, so I'll drop it in our yard, and then they'll have somebody else run it for the delivery when the delivery comes up. Got paper, rolls of paper on right now. I haul a lot of paper. 44,000 pounds of
Dog
it.
says, if you want peace and quiet, the UP is the place you want to go.
Yeah, for sure. That is a true story. Totally laid back up there.
Aaron Shackelford 6106 says mosquitoes suck in the summertime in Michigan too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, they're pretty bad just about everywhere. All right, gonna hang out with you guys until I get on I-24 once we get through Nashville here. I will have to wrap it up shortly after that. I'm pretty sure my signal's going to drop out around then anyways. But we're probably looking another 30, 40 minutes or so. Get to hang out with you guys. But thanks for joining in. Thanks for all your comments and stuff, everyone. It's super cool. It's been a fun week this week. I've gotten a lot more traffic as far as people commenting and chatting and everything. It's super cool to be able to drive down a highway and have 8 or 10 conversations going at the same time. So thanks for help keeping me awake and passing the time. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do post a lot of other videos throughout the week, short
Aaron
videos, long videos.
6106 says we call him Yoopers if you're from Michigan. Two awesome dogs, says Aaron. Level unartificial state bird alone.
What is called Yoopers? All right, 9 miles from downtown Nashville right now.
Two awesome dogs, says Aaron. I live under the mighty Mac Bridge. I'm a troll. Degu to See songwriter says, just letting everybody know that I have released 2 new albums within the last 2 months, and I would really appreciate it if people would check it out. Yes, it is on the channel that I'm currently on. Two awesome dogs, says Mighty Mac is 5 Mile Bridge.
Cool. What kind of music you do, man? So it's only about 4:30 in the morning here, just outside of Nashville.
J9Y says Joe Biden got 81 million votes 2020. Millions more than Obama ever got. It was because he told them they ain't black unless they vote for him.
Well, back left here. Five miles from downtown Nashville right now. So they're working on that Nissan Stadium down there, and should get a pretty good view of that when we drive past. It looks pretty sweet during the daytime.
Two Awesome Dogs says you ever hear of the Winter 500? It's a 500-mile snowmobile race in the Sioux.
I have not. I don't follow snowmobiles too much or whatever. My neighbor, when I was growing up, though, used to race those. So he's been severely injured a number of times. I've never even ridden a snowmobile before. But that's pretty sweet. I guess those things they turn weirdly. So it can't be easy to race those things. It's gotta be crazy. '65 speed limit. All right. Gonna be dropping down to 55
Jesse
here in a
James
mile.
Up 40 says this freeway looks as better than any Southern California freeway.
Yeah, they just redid a lot of this recently, which I'm surprised at how quick they did do it. I don't know if it was already on the schedule or if they passed some emergency measure, but back in January and February when I had a big ice storm, snowstorm come through here, these highways were just obliterated. I mean, I remember going through a week or two after that big storm went through here, and the potholes were so ginormous, like you could literally only go about 25 miles an hour down the highway, and it was this stretch pretty much right through here. So they did a hell of a job fixing it up. You saw the construction zone that went through maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago maybe. I mean, they've done that pretty quick, done most of that overnight too, so a lot of it hasn't been very invasive.
Two Awesome Dogs says it. Jesse. Seriously, check Michigan and Claire. Michigan for cabins, $34K on a lake.
All right, going into the 55 zone. 2 miles downtown Nashville right now. It says Nissan Stadium's where the Tennessee Titans are going to be playing. Not sure when they're going to start playing there. Maybe not this year. But ginormous stadium right off the exit of the highway there. It's pretty sweet looking. when you go through during the day, you're usually going 5 miles an hour, so you get a chance to get a good look at it and everything. But it should be lit up a little bit when we go past it here, probably in about 5 minutes or so. Very happy to be driving through here at 4:30 in the morning instead of 6:30 in the morning for sure. Not
After 1 mile, use
quick
the left
to go
lanes
through
to
here
take
at
exit
peak
2A towards Interstate
peak
24
hours,
West,
driving hours, rush hours.
Two Awesome Dogs says it Jesse. Best fishing hands down May Casinos. Jesse James up 40 says thank you awesome because I'm seriously looking to get out of California.
Now keep left towards Interstate 24 West.
I got some bumpy road going through this section.
Two Awesome Dogs says Michigan has best retirement fishing around.
After 2 miles, keep right to take the exit.
Two Awesome Dogs says it's 5:20 in morning here in Michigan Driver.
Yep, got 4:30 in the morning here in Nashville, Central Time down here. I'll be on Central all the way through making this delivery. The last load I delivered, I started in Wisconsin and went down to Atlanta. I was in Central Zone, Eastern Zone, back to Central, back to Eastern.
Two Awesome Dogs says 5:30.
After 1 mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 211 and continue up to the Interstate 24 West towards Clarksville.
So I'll be staying on Interstate 24. Got all kinds of construction on 65, so won't have to deal with that this morning. Alright. Go past this Nissan Stadium already? I wasn't even paying attention.
Now keep right to take
I think it's right around the bend here.
Interstate 24 West, Clarksville. After 2.5 miles, keep right to take the exit.
Bryce J9Y says Dolly Parton just opened up a new truck stop down yonder somewhere there.
Yeah, I-65, exit 22 in Tennessee. Called the Tennessee. I was there maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago. They're still remodeling the downstairs, but they got a bar and restaurant upstairs, and they got like a stage. They got like an outdoor patio. Super cool joint. So definitely one of my new
Two
favorites.
awesome dogs, says driver. You drive a freight shape.
I do. There's Nissan Stadium off to the left there. They're still in the process of rebuilding it, revamping it, or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't think they built that one from scratch, but pretty neat. Pretty cool that when you're driving through here, like on a Sunday afternoon, they're gonna be playing football games right there. Cincinnati's pretty cool like that too. You can see baseball and football stadiums right from the highway, driving down I-71 through there.
Jesse James up 40 says California was the place to live in the 60s, 70s, and mid 80s. Now it's a dump.
Yeah, it's just too expensive out there, man. I mean, they can't even make movies in Los Angeles anymore. It's so expensive.
After 1 mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 46A towards Interstate 24 West, Clarksville.
All right, gonna be wrapping this live stream up in about 10-15 minutes or so. There goes some kind of law enforcement zooming in that far left lane. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hopefully going to be back on Saturday, maybe Sunday at some point. Not sure where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be heading to yet, but I've been trying to come on here and do these live streams as often as I can. Super cool, a lot of fun for me to chat with you all going down the highway.
Interstate 24 West, Clarksville.
Truck on the shoulder here.
Jesse James up 40 says, have you always been a truck driver?
No, I didn't start driving truck. Yeah, this guy's going to get back on. I'm going to cut this car off. Sorry, car.
Two awesome dogs, says it. Jesse is peaceful out in the woods.
Yeah, I got my CDL when I was 27, maybe. I didn't start driving until maybe I was 29 or so. Glad I did, though. I absolutely love what I do. I've always liked driving. I was got my driving permit on my 16th birthday. Had my license a few weeks later. And as soon as I got my permit, like the first weekend, I literally drove hundreds of miles.
Two
Probably in
awesome
the first
dogs,
week.
says Woods in Michigan.
After 1 mile, use the left 2 lanes to take exit 88 towards Interstate 24 West,
Neural
Clarksville.
Cult says, I've been considering trucking.
Yeah, the thing I like about
Bryce
trucking.
J9Y says Montana gave us permits at 14.5 and license at 15.
Oh, wow.
The OL days.
That's pretty young. That's pretty cool. I wish I could have got mine when I was 14, 15. That'd have been super sweet. Yeah, having a
Two awesome
CDL.
dog says to retire in Michigan you need a cabin and a John boat.
CDL gives you so many options. I mean, you can literally write your own ticket, do whatever you want to do.
Now keep left towards
go wherever you want to go, over the road, local, garbage trucks, cement trucks, tanker trucks, big trucks, refrigerated trucks, flatbed.
Follow the highway.
And as long as you keep your record clean, don't hit shit, don't get tickets. I mean, you pretty much, you can go work anywhere. You can make a lot of money depending on what sector you're in and if your record's clean enough and everything. So definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life was to get my commercial driver's license. So. All right, probably gonna have some bumpy roads through here. I drove through here during that ice storm that hit down south. Got a video up on that, and it was long day for sure. 25 to 30 miles an hour for about 8 hours until I was able to get out of that mess. So on the way out of Nashville right now. Going to be wrapping this live stream up probably in 5 to 10 minutes or so. Want to thank everyone for joining in though. Thanks for your comments, questions, conversation. So cool to be driving down the highway and talking to people from halfway around the world, multiple different states all at the same time.
Aaron Shackelford 6106 says hopefully this November California gets a new Republican governor. Maybe he can change everything wrong with California. Neural Cult says I threw you a sub. Jesse James up 40 says I hear truck drivers get back problems. Is that true?
Oh yeah, for sure. My back is destroyed.
CDL, you got to see this country free.
No, Cult, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, you know, that's, I think about like all these RVs and campers I see out here and, you know, the retirees out traveling the country. It's like, you can do that right now in a semi truck. Like if you're a husband and wife, you can each go get your CDLs and drive team, buy your own truck. Make a few $100,000 a year while you get to tour the country.
More comfy than cars, from what I hear.
Yeah, not so much. Yeah, the air ride seats are pretty rough. It's more the suspension on the trucks
Two
that
awesome dogs says
makes it rough.
everything from Snoqualmie to Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, if back in the 60s and 70s you didn't have the air ride seats, you just had bench seats. Oh my gosh, I could not even imagine driving without an air ride seat. I mean, it would literally destroy your back. And it did destroy a lot of those guys' backs. So, but nowadays, the technologies in these trucks are so good. I mean, you can drive truck over the road with your spouse or whoever and basically tour the country and get paid for it, just like you're one of those retirees in a big RV and camper, except you're getting paid instead of spending money.
Jesse James up 40 says, what's the best way to get a truck driver license? Not for me, my nephew.
Yeah, just definitely find a good truck driving school. Do not go to one of those companies that pays for the school for you to go, like Swift. I think they have their own school or whatever. It's a bad deal. You'll get screwed in the long run on that. I mean, not sure what it costs nowadays, but you should be able to find a trucking school that you could go and complete in about a 5 or 6 week period. They're going to try to make that longer. They're going to make it more complicated real soon to get your CDL. But I went to school for 5 weeks. I think it costs $6,000 or $7,000. I don't care if you got to put that $7,000 on a credit card. It'll be better off than letting a company pay for your trucking school. But yeah, you basically go get your permit packet. That's what we did in Ohio. Might be different in other states. It was like $30 back then. You get this big book, huge, a lot of information in there. And then you got to take your written tests or whatever. General knowledge, air brakes.
Bryce J9Y says safe travels. Thank you for doing all that driving.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, it's intimidating at first. Most of these trucks are automatics nowadays too. So like I was saying about a husband and a wife team coming out here, I mean, you don't even got to worry about double clutching, shifting gears, or any of that stuff anymore.
Neurophone says you don't recommend Swift because it locks you in a contract.
Yeah, any company that pays for your schooling is going to, number one, pay you a lot less per mile for probably a good year. A year or two you're there. You're not going to be able to a year or two, or you're going to have to pay them probably 2 or 3 times as much that trucking school would have cost if you paid out of pocket. They will take you to court and get their money back. And that year or two you work for them, they're going to try to mark your record up. If you bump or scrape anything, they're going to pile on and try to keep your record bad so you're not hireable anywhere else. That way they're the only ones that can have their claws into you. If you get caught in one of them traps, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, this is driving's a 6-figure a year gig. I mean, you can make almost $100K a year, sometimes a lot more than that, just being a company driver somewhere. Different markets, Columbus, Ohio. I could go back to Columbus right now, work 5 12 hour days in a week, work 60 hours a week, and make $2,200 to $2,300 a week right now. That's $110,000 to $120,000 a year. Go home every day. You don't even go to the road. It's not the type of work I want to do. I actually make a little less than that doing what I do. Look at all that traffic on the other side. They're doing some construction down there. Wow, that's got to be aggravating. All these guys.
Neurophone says I saw an ad for Swift that offered $1,000 for first 6 paychecks went solo. Jesse James up 40 says, what state has the worst driver?
Whatever state I'm currently in, that's the state that has the worst drivers. People suck at driving across the country, man. People are horrible. And it shows in fatality numbers and everything too. People just passing, going around bends on 2-lane highways, roads. I mean, not even sure if they're going to hit somebody head on. And I've got several videos where they're pretty close calls. I got semi-trucks doing the same thing. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, people just suck at driving. Yeah, and as far as sign-on bonuses go, I've never made a decision to go work at a company because of a sign-on bonus. I think I've only ever gotten one sign-on bonus in my entire life because that's not what I pay attention to. You know, I pay attention to what I'm getting per mile, how many miles I'm going to be doing, what areas I'm going to be running. These companies are like comparing apples to oranges. I mean, so many differences, so many variables. You got to ask so many questions to find what you're looking for. And half these companies are going to lie to you. And it takes several weeks to get onboarded at a company. And if you got lied to and spent weeks to get onto a company, which I've done, I've quit 2 jobs on the first day a couple of times in my career.
Soundman 777K 6 grams says I am going to get the truck license in the fall of this year.
Cool, good for you, man. It's a great decision. Eventually, autonomous vehicles will put us all out of work, but AI is going to put everybody out of work eventually anyway. So hopefully there's another good 10 to 20 years left in driving before AI and self-driving vehicles take over. But
Neurocult says, are you an owner-operator?
I am not an owner-operator currently.
777K 6 grams says, yeah, true.
Yeah, I used to be owner operator from 2012 to 2016. I had an old truck. I paid not a lot of money for it. Paid cash money, but it's old beater truck. I was getting paid the same amount of money as a guy that spent $170,000 on a truck. I paid less than 10 grand for my truck.
Two Awesome Dog says the Cracker Jack driver on the woods found their license in the bottom of the Cracker Jack box.
That's funny. Yeah, so when I parked my owner-operator truck, it had 1.9 million miles on it. Still ran pretty good. I knew I did not want to buy one of these newer trucks with all the EPA, DEF, diesel particulate filter stuff. These things break all the time. They're ridiculous expensive to repair. Plus, it takes, like, depending on where you're at, it might take you a month to even get into a shop, into a Freightliner dealership. It's ridiculous. You can't, I can't afford to make $4,000 a month truck payment if I'm not working. And nowadays, trucking pays so good, you can make $100,000 a year by driving someone else's stuff. And I don't really feel the need to risk making that kind of money on owning my own truck and spending $40,000 to rebuild an engine, maybe not even make anything for the year and lose money. I'm not going to risk $100K a year. Back when I was owner op, I was only making about $45,000 a year, and I went up to $120,000 a year overnight, mainly because I paid cash money for the truck. Bought an older truck, so. But I love being an owner operator. It was like literally being on vacation every day I was working. When you're an owner operator, you have a little more control. I leased onto a major carrier, so I only hauled freight for the one company. But
Soundman 777K 6 grams says I am going to work in the mines here up north in Sweden. You can make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's some grueling work right there. What are you mining? Coal, gold, copper?
Neurocult says is Millis Transport an okay starter company?
I do not know. I do see their trucks out here and whatever. I'll just say probably any big carrier
Jesse
is a good
James
starter
40
company.
says is those trucking jobs at the ports, are they good jobs? Lane Rodriguez F1L says, good morning, buddy.
Good morning, Lane.
Two Awesome Dog says, Sweden, you might need the frozen lakes. Lol, just joking. Bryce J9Y says it's so crazy California and New York, Washington and so on gave CDLs to no English-speaking individuals, without any testing, like what in the hell, the Soundman 777K 6 grams says they mining more.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get to the testing stuff in a minute. Back to the Millis Transport and a good starter job. Just about any company. A lot of companies are going to try to pay you 1099 now if you get on with a smaller company. Do not take a 1099 job. It's a rip-off, a scam. It's not even legal.
Rodriguez F1L says, are you off for the 4th of July this next week?
Probably not. So I don't have any more home time until the end of July. My company doesn't like to work very hard over the weekends. So they could end up routing me somewhere. I don't really have any weekend coverage for trip planning and stuff like that. So more than likely I'll be out in the middle of the country somewhere doing something. So, but yeah, any company's a good starter company as long as you get paid with the W-2. So I would probably stick to a company you've heard of before, a company that has at least 200 to 300 trucks. The key is get a year in, put a year in there. Don't job hop. A lot of companies, top jobs won't hire you if you've worked for 5 different companies in 3 years, so on and so forth. So go somewhere, stay there for a year, do what you got to do.
Speed limit.
But in that year, you want to make sure when you're backing, when you're pulling in places, you don't hit anything. Keep your record perfect. Once you get about a year in, you can go almost anywhere. Once you get two to 3 years in, literally, if you got a clean record, no tickets, no accidents, no incidents, you go work anywhere you want to go work. You make that decision. So be on job boards, hiring, and everything.
Some dog says stay away from Warner. Shift. Steve's Transportation. If they PPAYK less than 50 cents a mile.
Yeah, you got to watch. There's a lot of companies that, Western Express, I saw it paying like 48 cents a mile for some flatbed stuff. I was like, are you kidding me? That's just a ridiculous low amount of money. But your first year driving, I wouldn't be super focused on the money. You're going to. I think I just lost a tire. Fuck me. Alright, I have to find somewhere to pull off and go check this out. I heard an explosion.
Two Awesome Dogs says what the hell 48 cents.
Yeah, those are like early 2010s prices, so.
Neural Cult says oh wow.
Alright, I'm gonna try to find. I was hoping to get close to an exit here to pull off. Not sure if I lost the tire or not. I'm gonna be pissed if I did. That'd be number 6 in about 6 months, so. I want to make sure when I get pulled off, if I have to have somebody come out and put a tire on, they got enough room to work on it without getting killed. I do have a lot of weight on, so I can't really drive too fast or too far.
Says first year, you're not gonna make a lot, but you're gonna get the experience. Lane Rodriguez F1L says Joey said to tell you hello.
Oh, tell him I said hi. Alright, this lane's gonna end here. I'm gonna get pulled off, check this tire here. Probably gonna wrap it up here as soon as I'm done checking this tire out. Alright, I'm gonna be out of range for a second. Alright, all my tires are intact, have air in them, so not sure what I heard there, but definitely always got to check that out. Hey, welcome, Jesse James.
Neural Cult says awesome.
Yeah, I've had at least 5 trailer tire blowouts in the last about 6 months now. Put a video up of the one a few weeks ago.
Janice Farmer 2387 says good morning. I'm glad you're tiresome and Gabe stay safe, love. Lane
Hi, Janice.
Rodriguez F1L says oh really be safe.
Thanks, Lane.
Awesome Dog says Jesse. Seriously check into Michigan.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk too much about the the testing out in New York and California that somebody made a comment on. I got to wrap this live stream up in about a minute here. But yeah, there's a lot of states somehow let a bunch of drivers get through without actually having any training. They'll let you come in from different countries. They're called non-domicile drivers, non-doms. A lot of these guys claim they had a CDL from over there, and somehow these states are issuing licenses to these immigrants that a lot of them have false identities, do not have CDLs, have no training in driving trucks, and they're out here on the highways driving 70, 80 miles an hour, killing people left and right. I'm gonna do some research on the numbers of tractor trailer related deaths, traffic deaths.
Aaron Shackelford 6106 says you be safe out there, John.
Thanks, Aaron. Have a good day, buddy.
James of 40 says thanks, awesome, I will. Lane Rodriguez F1L says okay, buddy, I'll tell Joey you said have a good weekend.
Thanks, Lane. You too. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Hoping to be back on here tomorrow at some point. Not sure where I'm going to be at, where I'm going, or what time that could be. But we'll talk more about those non-domiciles on my next live stream, because it's a pretty major deal, pretty big deal, and they're cracking down on it. They're taking a lot of these illegal drivers off the road, which is great. But anyways, I got to run. Y'all have a good day.
Lane Rodriguez F1L says okay. Neural Cult says thanks, man. Positive vibes to you and your trips and stream.
Thanks, Neural Cult. Preach, man. Appreciate y'all.
Zakiri Ahiawatha says thanks for sharing.
You got it. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you guys on here hopefully tomorrow sometime. Bye now.